Welcome to We're Talking Bears,
where we bring you the latest in the Chicago Bears experience.
I'm Uncle,
nephew,
and I'm Son,
and we're talking Bears.
Welcome back to We're Talking Bears, where we bring you the latest in the Chicago Bears experience. Off season is here, free agency is upon us, and POLES once again is making moves. Lots of things going on. How do you feel? How do you feel about the addition so far?
He's cooking.
Absolutely.
He's cooking. Man, he's cooking. Wow. This is putting a team together. It's what we've been waiting for. You know, it's like Thanksgiving, right? You can when the turkey's in the oven from first thing in the morning,
right?
And you can smell it, but you don't get to eat,
right?
But then about 2-3 in the afternoon, you smell the macaroni coming out, you smell the sweet potatoes, you smell the dressing, and the turkey's coming out of the oven, and you're like, yeah, we about to eat.
Right.
Now it's time.
Absolutely.
That's perfect. That's where we are. That's where we are, man. The chef is coming out the kitchen, and the food is about to be plated.
Hey, that was an amazing metaphor, man. You just made me hungry with that. Thanksgiving is an amazing metaphor. And you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. With the moves he's making, I think it's so wonderful because this is one thing that I've noticed. That at the beginning of this all, we looked and we saw, okay, we have the number one pick in the draft. The talk was what's going to happen with Justin Fields. What will we do in regards to Caleb Williams? And I think what's interesting is being that Washington was one of the teams in contention, potentially still might want to trade up to get that pick. It was kind of a question on where we would get the haul from if we're not trading back beyond 2 or 3, or if we trade too far, will we still be able to get the guys that we want? And I feel like POLES has not had to tip his hand realistically. I could say some of these moves maybe make me think a certain way, but he hasn't tipped his hand as far as what he's doing. So it's not like other teams are able to get the ups on us to say, oh, we know you want to keep Justin, so we don't have to worry about trying to trade up for that pick. He's actually in such a, it's incredible, honestly, to think about, because once again, here we are. We've made the additions of Keenan Allen. We've got Swift. We've picked up it was Byard and a few other guys. And we still haven't touched our 2 top 10 first round picks. And I think it's amazing, man. I can't. Some of the negativity I've been hearing, I don't even understand it, because this is an ideal position to be in, I would think. And being able to go get someone like Keenan Allen, a vet with experience, who plays at a high level. I think if we are to bring in a rookie wide receiver, who better to play besides Keenan Allen, DJ Moore? You got Komet out there. You got Swift running the rock. You'll be put into a great offense to start, and I think there's a lot to be learned out there. But I'm not gonna drag that too long. I'm excited about the moves.
We got weapons.
We have weapons.
We got weapons. I mean, you know, obviously we are all Darnell Mooney fans. I wish him the best. Frankly, for the way he's performed the last couple of years, he's overpaid right now, right?
Right.
But then Keenan Allen is a step up from Mooney, period.
Absolutely.
Even at 32 years old, he's a step up from Mooney. Keenan Allen has had almost a half dozen 1,000-yard seasons in his career. Mooney had 1. So he is a legit number 1 who's now our number 2.
Right.
He's a legit number 1. He's been a number 1 all his career.
Right.
And he is now our number 2 because ain't nobody like DJ Moore.
Right.
I mean, as great as Keenan Allen is, DJ Moore is even better.
It's better, right?
It's better. And then, you know, you talk about that offense. Then we turn around and we pick up, we steal. We just robbed the Chargers. I mean, honestly, you know, we robbed the Chargers. We should get arrested because, you know, what we did to the Chargers. Because then we took their tight end, Gerald Everett, who was a good tight end. He's not quite as well-rounded as Cole Kmet from any standpoint, except for he is a playmaker, right? He's that dog that's going to run people the heck over, right? And so with that said, you know, with that going on, it's like, hey, boom. That's all we can say is boom, because he's that dog. And man, you know, Komet, great dude, awesome dude, well-rounded. Gerald is the number 2 tight end. So we've but it just makes I mean, he's way better than Tunyon.
Right.
He's way better. Cap's better than Tunyon. This is definitely without question growth in our offense. And then you talk about just without delete. I mean, Donta Foreman. I like Foreman. He has some good games, but again, I think DeAndre Swift is a much more dangerous guy than Donta Foreman. Um, so I'll say this: at least we didn't lose anything there.
Right.
I think we may have made a step up. I don't think it's a giant step up. I think Donta Foreman has been underutilized most of his career, but Swift is he's dangerous, man. Swift is home run speed. But I mean, you think about the beginning of the moves for the Bears in this offseason. It really started off with Jalen.
Right.
You know what I mean? That was everything. We franchise tagged him, but then we quickly sat down. He saw he was going to get 19 million for the franchise, and we just said, "Hey, why don't we give you 4 years of that? Why don't we give you 4 years and 19 million and guarantee you 55 of them?"
Right.
And what we did, Poles is a magician, knowing that we have tons of cap space, and but also he wanted to stay out of the cap because this guy earned it. We gave him $20 million up front just to sign the contract. $20 million to sign. So his cap value is never going to be 19 million a piece, because right off the bat, 20 million is gone from that, and that doesn't hit our cap.
Right.
And he's worth it. That's a year's salary.
Right.
We basically said, sign this piece of paper and get a year's salary today.
Right.
I mean, who's not going to do that?
Right.
You know, if my boss says, "Hey, sign this piece of paper and I'll give you a whole year's salary, and then I'll continue to pay you a year's salary," I'm like,
Right. Okay. Right.
"You're kidding, right?"
Gotta keep doing what I'm doing.
Right. So
Yeah.
you want to pay me a year's salary? Honestly, his signing bonus is more money than he's made in his life, right?
Yeah.
So a signing bonus is more than all 4 years of his rookie contract and anything else he made.
Yeah.
So, he just, man, boom, boom, boom.
Right. Right.
So that was fantastic. And then you talk about DeAndre Swift. What do you think about Swift? And what do you think about the Jalen? How we treated him?
I'm excited about the Jalen move. He earned it. Our secondary, I'm ready, man. Them guys looked great at the end of the season. Jalen came around after being hurt, came back and was killing, and he deserves it. He earned it. So I'm happy to see they were able to reach an agreement with him. Because to me, this is what Poles is doing. He's trying to change the culture here. It looks like, and you have to show the players that you want, the players that are vital to the team's success. You have to show them that that's their value within the organization. And I feel like he made that apparent with Jalen Johnson, and I hope that continues to carry over. As far as Swift, I like Swift. I think what's really great about the Swift move to me, of course, we know he started out in Detroit, and when they ended up getting Montgomery, he had moved over to, I think, where did he go, to Philly, right? He came out of Philly. Out of Philly. But what I think is interesting is this. It was the talks about Saquon. I like Saquon Barkley, right? However, Saquon ends up replacing where Swift came from in Philly, and we're able to get Swift, who's a good back, who doesn't, in my opinion, he doesn't have to do what Barkley was doing in New York. He was the entire focus of the offense. But I feel like he's a great addition for our team, and he doesn't cost us as much as we would have had to spend for Barkley. So I think this was a chess move as far as Poles is concerned. He's like, all right, we know Barkley's out there, but I'm not trying to overspend, overshoot, especially when you go get a Keenan Allen. Now you pair him with DJ. It's like, all right, we got the guy we need. And I think Swift is going to be great for us, man. I've always liked Swift. He's been pretty good. So I think he is what you said. I believe he is a step up from Foreman. And even if it's not a major step, I'd rather have him than Foreman. And I think it'll be good still. We still have Roshan Johnson. We still have Khalil Herbert. So I think those guys will be able to make some noise with him leading the way.
Yeah, for sure. I think that that puts us in a really good, really good position. Then you also remember that the Bears still, as far as being a rushing team, as for our team, we're still near the top of the NFL for running the rock. We're just a step behind San Francisco at running the rock. They literally, actually, they're a little bit better on yards per attempt, They averaged 4.8. We averaged 4.5, but we actually beat them by 10 yards. We got 2,399 on the ground. They got 2,389 on the ground. So, we're right there at the top of the NFL running the rock. And I think our run game just got a little better.
Yeah, I agree.
And now where we're weak is, the passing game, we're bottom third. We're not up there in the passing game. But when you look at it and you say, okay, passing game, where do we sit? We're actually bottom fourth. We're way down there. Which that's why it's so important to add Keenan out, to add Garrett, to add these guys. And also, we went. I respect Poles. He went and got that offensive guard that he was trying to get from the Bills, and honestly didn't bid high enough. Back when he first started, you know who I'm talking about.
I forget the name.
It's not. We signed several guys. Coleman Shelton too. I forget that he was a free agent. That's not him though.
No.
Yeah,
he's the center, right? Shelton's
right. Yep, Shelton's the center. But we picked up. I forget his name. It'll come to me. But he was an offensive guard, and he is a solid guard. He's had 4 starts in the playoffs with the Bills, and it played well. And also had a ton of starts during the seasons. So he's quality guy that we're going to pick up. Excuse me. Anyway, so it's just amazing. It's just amazing what we're grabbing and what we're doing. And I'm excited. And like you said, we've got the 1 and the 9. And right now, honestly, it looks a little bit like we're building San Francisco's team. We're building the San Francisco way. We are building, a team, a squad, right? Ryan Bates is the guy's name. We're building we're building a team. We're building a squad. And honestly, right now, you add in whoever we pick up in the first and second rounds as starters, whether it's edge, whether it's center, should be center, whether it's another wide receiver, whether it's a upgrade at left tackle. It doesn't matter who you drop in as quarterback. People are giving Justin heck. Justin is a legit starting quarterback in the NFL. All his numbers say he's around the 20th best quarterback last year. And that's not making and breaking the average for the fact that he was out 5 games. That's his numbers in 12 games versus other guys' numbers in 17 games, right? So with that understanding, he's sitting at number 20 in passing, not including his running ability or his running touchdowns at all. Right. He's sitting right around number 20, somewhere between 19 and 23. Even his interceptions are puts him in a really, in sub, top 20 of NFL starting quarterbacks. If you count only the starting quarterbacks, not all the guys that rotated in, he's more like top 15 as far as fewest interceptions. So he's a legitimate starting quarterback. So we should start the conversation from let's not be stupid. Right. He's a legitimate starting quarterback. Even guys like Danny Parkins, who just Caleb, get rid of Justin. He totally admitted on live TV that Justin Fields is the most exciting guy he's seen playing quarterback for the Bears in his lifetime, and he's up there with Devin Hester with the level of excitement he brings. So he's exciting, he's effective, he's getting the numbers. He can be right now, without improving any for the next season, he's an average NFL quarterback, an average NFL starter, not just quarterback, starter. So that's where we are. So with the team that's coming together, I think we're really hard to beat with Fields. Now, if we go out and they look up and they say, hey, Williams is going to be an improvement. If they really believe that in their hearts of hearts and they do it and they pull the trigger on that and they make him a day 1 starter, then we I don't see that we're a bad team. I see that we are like San Francisco. Drop any qualified NFL quarterback in there, and you're going to roll. Because now we have weapons everywhere. We have a very good defense, a dangerous defense.
Right.
And if we can just get this offensive blocking together, we're golden. And I think we're almost there because Tevin, solid starter. Nate is okay. All right. Darnell Wright, ascending star, right? Braxton has proven himself that he's a reason. I would say Braxton's a top, he's a top half, maybe top third NFL left tackle. Okay. He does struggle against the best of the best, but this is the first offseason he gets to practice against guys like Sweat all offseason.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know where his ceiling is. I don't think we've quite seen Braxton Jones' ceiling yet. He's a hard worker.
Mm-hmm.
But if you bring in a rookie to push him, that's a first-round draft pick, he's either going to win the job or he's not. And I'm okay with that.
Right.
What I don't understand is all these people out here who aren't okay with quarterbacks competing for the job. First of all, you can't tackle a quarterback unless his name is Fields. Then just hit him with your helmet.
Right.
It's true. You can't tackle a quarterback. They get to slide instead of getting tackled. You can't tackle them in the backfield and put your weight on them because you might weigh more than them. Yeah, there's so many rules. They can run to the sideline, and if nobody's there, as long as they get the ball past the line of scrimmage, they can throw the ball out of bounds. Which it used to be grounded. Like you're throwing the ball away, and there's no receivers in the area.
Right.
That used to be intentional grounding. Now, as long as you get it past the line of scrimmage, have at it, right? So there's all these rules, and I'm okay with them protecting quarterbacks. I'm okay with them protecting guys. It's humans have gotten stronger. Steroids exist. Guys, the refrigerator was one of the only 300-pounders in 1985. Now everybody's 300 pounds. The running backs are 250. Derrick Henry would have been an offensive guard in the 80s, right? Because he's 250. He wouldn't have been a running back, right? So I accept that, okay, yes, we've advanced sports science, we've advanced nutrition science, we've advanced plyometrics and all these things. We've also advanced steroids, and we also put steroids in all the meats, and it does get through to the humans. They're anabolic, right? So with all of those changes, I get protect them. Increase the science. And nobody wants the football players running around with a giant bubble airbag on their head, right? So we changed some rules. But with that said, why can't they compete against each other to win the job? Why do we anoint a guy quarterback? If we bring in a left tackle, Braxton is going to compete for his job. If we bring in DeAndre Swift, we brought him in, he's got a contract, he's going to compete for his job. If he doesn't win that job, if Roshan wins the job, I expect Roshan to start.
Right.
Right? Hey, if DJ Moore is phenomenal, but what if Keenan Allen has a 2,000-yard year? Are you going to make him still? Yeah, you're the number 2. No, this is football. It's football. It's a competitive sport. You compete, and you compete all the way to the Super Bowl. But it also means players compete for their position. I'm going to get off my soapbox.
No, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. I don't know where that comes from or what that is, but that's absolutely the way it should go. But you know what I think POLES is? I think POLES is creating that. I think POLES is creating something here. And again, I think we're moving in the right direction. I'm excited to see what we do with those picks because I agree with you. I feel like even though I'm pro Justin, I believe Caleb would be successful here with the team that we're building. I just feel like
give me Brock Purdy. He'd be successful here.
Absolutely. I just feel like let's keep building the team. Let's this is a great wide receiver class, draft class. Why not get another weapon? Like, how do you look with DJ, Keenan Allen, and one of these young, rookie receivers that'll be coming out? I think
Marvin Harrison, Rome.
Man. Can you imagine Marvin Harris and Keenan Allen and DJ Moore? Then you got Cole Kmet. Then you got Swift. You get what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. And this is what I'm trying to say.
And we're still
feels that opportunity.
Right. We still are top 2, if not number 1, depending on which stat you go with. Run team, right? That didn't disappear. Right. We didn't go fire all the people that run the rock, right?
Right.
So you're still running the heck out of the ball. So when you go play action, and now you got kings flying all over the field. Who you going to cover? Pick
Right.
somebody's open.
And I mean, this is what I wanted to say also. Let's think about it. If you have studs like DJ, Keenan Allen, and you go and get a Marvin Harrison Jr., now your guys like Scott Bayless, they either gonna put up or shut up, man. These are stars you're in here with. You're gonna have to step your game up. And then let's talk about our secondary, who was great last season. And had a rookie came along, Tariq Stevenson. These guys are probably going to get torched by Keenan Allen and DJ in practice, which is going to make them better players.
It's going to make them better.
That's what we want. That's what we want. The same way you mentioned, Tabit, Jake is going against Sweat. This is how it's supposed to go. You get what I'm saying? Now, when you're in practice and you're going against elite players, now you'll become elite. You get what I'm saying? If you're an average player and the most competition you get is from somebody who's average also or weaker than you, you're not improving. And that doesn't mean you can't be a good player, but you're not improving. You're not going against players who are going to help you grow. And I feel like right now that's what we have. And I think it's going to pay dividends because of that.
I remember, this is a long time ago, years ago, my mom and I were at one of the Bears open practices at Soldier Field. And this is back in the Cutler years, right? And we're watching, and the defense is making cockroaches out of the offensive line, and they're getting knocked on their back. And my mom's like, what do you think about the team? I was like, well, you know what? Because we had some pretty awesome defensive tackles. I said, defensive tackles and edges back in that day. And I said, that's not Julius Peppers out there. He's over on the sideline. This is going to be a problem, because those are the backups wiping out our offensive, our starting offensive line. Right. I was like, if it was Julius Peppers, it's like, okay, you're learning. He's the best in the business, and he's blowing you up. He's over there drinking Gatorade, riding the bike.
Look, this isn't helping him.
You gotta, like you say, you have to have competition. You need it in practice. The Jordan years taught us that. Why was Scottie Pippen great? Because from the first day he walked on the team, he said, I can guard that guy. Now, he fooled himself from the first day, but a few years down the line, he really was one of the few guys in the NBA who could guard anybody.
Yep.
But
it makes sense.
Yeah, but he had to guard. He had to believe he could guard the best, and then learn. Okay, well, as a rookie, I can't actually guard that guy, but I'm gonna learn how to guard that guy.
And you know what's incredible about it is, not to get off the football side, but watching Scottie Pippen, we saw a lot of his game that he clearly got directly from Michael Jordan. Mirror image of doing the same move, but it makes sense. It's like, okay, if I play you in practice and I know I'm a good defender and you're able to get me with this move, why would I not use that move? If it's working against me, you get what I'm saying? And that's it. But I feel like now we're at that point, because a football team as it is, to me, is only going to be as successful as the weak link. And which means we had to get to a point where we can bring our offense and defense closer together. It can't be where your offense isn't good enough and your defense is the only thing you got going, because that's not it. You got to have guys that can meet that challenge and actually become better players. And I feel like now we're getting there, because you look at it, we're building our offense, but our defense was coming alive last year. You get what I'm saying? So, but we're actually at a point where we can depend on our offense and on our defense. And I feel like when you get to that point, the team is able to iron sharpens iron, and they're able to build off each other.
Hey, I love when you talk about last year. Last game, I was really upset at the loss to the Pack. But we held them to 17 points, and then they went and dropped a 50 on Dallas.
Right.
And Dallas couldn't slow them down. And I mean, they struggled to score 7. They couldn't hit 20 on us.
Right.
So that we're right there. Let's talk about a few more guys. We picked up a seasoned quarterback. When I say seasoned, he's been in Shane Waldron's systems for a while. Brett Rippon hasn't thrown a lot of passes in the NFL, but as a 27-year-old, he's been around and worked a lot. Again, that kind of looks like maybe we're tending towards grabbing a rookie quarterback, because they trust in Bajan, but you're bringing in a guy who knows the system to really compete for that second string. So that's kind of one move. Kind of says that we're going to have one quarterback. Now you could have 4 quarterbacks in camp. So he's on a 1-year deal. He could be cut, but that's kind of a either or tell. We brought in Matt Pryor for just an offensive tackle to help out. no big deal guy. And, but the big sign, one of the biggest signings, $15 million 2-year deal for Kevin Byard. That boy tackles.
Yep.
That boy tackles.
Yep.
Man, I mean, wow. So, here you get a guy that is without question a very, very, very solid safety. And you get him, and that was our big gap because we let go of Eddie Jackson,
Right.
And you grab a guy who was Philadelphia, right? And man, and this guy can play ball, and he's a hitter, a 5'11", 212. He's a hitter. He's not out there to be kind, right? And so I think that was critically important because we really needed to have that on the defense. What do you think about that?
I'm absolutely with you on that one. Of course, we had to. We've said this so many times when we're talking Bears. We can't just let guys go and not replace what they bring to the team. So a little bit of a different player, but like you said, this guy hits. And honestly, if anything, to me that was one of the issues with Eddie Jackson. I would say the last season or two. But again, we miss Eddie. I like Eddie, but I think this is definitely a guy who's going to come in and have an immediate impact. And again, to me, this is just an indication that Poles pays attention. Poles pays attention. He knows what's going on with the team, and he knows what things we need. And so far, he's been spot on with the moves he's made, have made our team better. So as far as the W's, as far as all of that's concerned, we've been a better team with these changes. So I trust him. I do like Byard a lot. And yeah, I mean, as much as we hate to see Eddie go, I'm glad he was able to bring in a great replacement.
For sure. That really looked good. And we also picked up another guy, just in case guy, Jonathan Owens, also a safety on a 2-year deal. And picked up a guy, I can't even pronounce his name. His first name is Amen. It's like Agbam Chima or something like that. I'm sorry for ruining that. Agbam Mija. As a linebacker, our linebacker room is jam-packed. I don't think that guy's just pure special teams. So he's probably not gonna hit the field. But as far as the safety, we grabbed the second Jonathan Owens safety, which you know what he knew he let go of Eddie, so you absolutely know that you got to bring him in. Now Jonathan Owens was with the Packers, and his wife is the gymnast Simone Biles. So we get our own little Taylor Swift.
Yeah, I did hear that. I
Yeah.
heard that.
Yeah. So what you think about that?
I'm not gonna lie, I'm not too familiar with his game. But I mean, look, if these guys are gonna come in and compete, you come in and earn your spot, then you earn your spot. If not, and we have to continue to build and look for somebody else to be the backup, then that's what we're doing. But I just have to look into him a little bit more. I'm not very familiar, but I did hear about that because of Simone Biles. So he definitely has to come out. And as far as I'm concerned, if you're gonna be on the Bears, you're gonna have to come out and make a name for yourself, because we don't want to be like, yeah, put in Simone Biles' boyfriend.
Hey. Well, you know what? I'll say this though. When you look at his numbers, he had 58 solo tackles, a sack, a forced fumble, a fumble recovery, as a safety last year. Which those are good numbers.
Good.
And unfortunately, Green Bay had a good defense, so I don't mind stealing them. Again, he's 5'11", 210. So they're bringing in hitters. These guys aren't; those aren't the numbers of a guy whose specialty is just running around getting the ball.
No, you're right.
210-pound, 5'11" dude. That's almost a running back. So he's out there popping people, and there you go. So hey, and he has that. They were there. They were playing the 49ers. Down to after they blew out Dallas, they went to play the 49ers and almost beat them. And here's a guy who was contributing to that. So we do want to take people from up north when it's the right time to take them. Now Tunyon, he didn't show me anything, but
who was that last guy we went and got from Green Bay? I didn't like him much either. What was his name?
I'm not even bringing that up.
Man. But no, you're right. Those are some solid numbers. You did say Green Bay. You came from Green Bay. They did have a good defense. I just hope he comes here and does his thing, man. I think that now we're really getting a group of guys who like to play ball, who want to compete, who want to show up, and who want to win. It's different than when you just have guys who just interested in getting paid, maybe not interested in really, what the team success is. And I feel like, to me, that's something that we can't always see, from the television or from the press and the press conferences and interviews. But to me, those are things that a GM, somebody like Poles, when you sit down and you talk to these players or you talk to the players you have now, you're gonna be the one that has to figure that out. And I feel like he's doing a good job of that.
Hey, Poles is murdering it, man.
He's killing it. Yeah.
He's the master chef is in the kitchen, and he's doing all this, and we're still doing great with salary cap.
Right.
I mean, you think about why the Chargers, they just hired Jim Harbaugh, gave him a bunch of money, and they're not getting rid of all these guys because they want to, because these guys are bad. They're getting rid of these guys because they can't pay them. They're so far over the cap, it's ridiculous. And Poles is doing this and making these numbers. He's a financial musician. These numbers are smooth. They're working, and hey, boom, Chicago, welcome this man. He's third year, and you think about this. I'd say the fourth round pick is a lot for Keenan Allen for a 1 year rental, but that's also telling us, because he doesn't throw stuff away. That's also telling us that we're getting close, and that he's willing to spend more on wide receiver. He tried to get a discount wide receiver in Chase Claypool. It didn't work out.
Right.
And so now he's gone back to the table, paid less for Keenan Allen, who is not a discount. He's a number one, true number one, right? With a pedigree. And you know what? We're a squad. We're a squad. Hey, the only concern, I'm going to tell you, it's going to be a bloodbath in the NFC North, because the Packers went and picked up Josh Jacobs, which that's scary. That boy runs the rock. The Lions are picking up defensive tackles and solidifying their defense and solidifying their stuff. And we haven't seen them. They've done a great job drafting. Everybody thought they were idiots last year in the draft, and then wow, it works out fantastic for them. And they're in not just the playoffs, but the NFC Championship game.
Right.
And they're
right. Oh my God, they were. And they were looking good for a while.
Look good for a minute. And here we go, moving on. And the Packers, the 49ers had to beat the Packers and the Lions to get to the Super Bowl. Dallas didn't have a chance, right? Eagles got, everybody else gets pushed out. So NFC North, man, it's going to be a bloodbath, because we are now a better team. The Packers look like they're building up to try to be a better team. Detroit is not going to give the division away. We have to take it from them.
All right.
This is going to be a season, man. It's going to This is going to be a season. It's going to be a war, and the war starts here in the Midwest, in Michigan, Illinois, and Wisconsin. There's a war coming out of these. Ain't nothing happening in Minnesota, though,
At all. Not at all. You gotta wait their turn now.
It's frozen over, man.
Yeah.
All the lakes froze. They can't get their cars out. They can't do nothing.
Right. But no, you're absolutely right, man. And it's definitely going to be competitive in the NFC North. But I'm excited, because our team is definitely improving and getting better. And as good as we looked last year against like Detroit, the second time we seen them, even in the second loss to the Packers, the way we were able to defensively stifle them and how much better we looked tells me a lot. I'm just very interested, man, with the draft a month away, a month and a week maybe away. I'm just interested to see how it all plays out, man, because what I'm hoping for, and what I wouldn't be surprised, is if we're able to somehow end up with another first round pick for next year from trading one of these picks that we have, and we can still pick up what we need. I'm all for it. We have 2 top 10 picks in this draft, and our team right now, to me, is a competitive team.
We're stacked right now. Right. What if it gets crazier? All right, let's just say, what if we roll with Justin? I know there's a group of people that don't want that, but what if we rolled with Justin? We traded back that number one a little distance, and maybe grab Rome and Doozy, and we took the 9 and we traded it back a little distance and grabbed a center, right? But that also netted us a 2 second-round picks right there, okay? And also next year, 2 first-round picks. So we now have 3 first rounds next year. And then the following year, one extra for the one, because you're going to get that, so that you have 3 first-round picks and 2 second-round picks in 2025, and then in 2026 you got 2 first-round picks and a regular second-round pick. That plus you're picking up 4 guys in the first 2 rounds this year, and it's getting to the point is where's a rookie going to start? It's getting to that point. What you going to do, rookie? You know, people are like, oh, MHJ, if we get him, he'll start over Keenan Allen. No, he won't.
Right.
No, he won't. He has to earn that. Keenan Allen's a top flight receiver in this NFL. He has to come out and just say, hey, old man, I'm better.
Right.
Right.
I wouldn't be mad if he comes to the Bears and does that.
I would be. But looking at it, you know, the center is a wide open position. We don't have a starting center. That ball last year, you say hike, and you needed Derek Cheater to dig the ball out the dirt.
I'm glad you said that. And I don't want to cut you off. So what do you think about the guy we picked up? He's just a scheduled backup.
Scheduled backup.
I don't know anything about him, honestly.
I don't know anything about him either. He's not. He was intentionally a backup.
Right.
That's what I feel. That he's an emergency gap filler. Right. Okay. He is not the best center in free agency. Right. Or even on the books as that. So we have to go get one as a friend. And I want to first of all, you can't pay everybody big money. So you can't go out and get the best free agency or else you become the Chargers. Right. You get a rookie, you get a second round rookie even, because centers usually don't go to the second round. But if you get a second round rookie, you got 4 years of a very reasonable salary. Even if you get a first one, you get 4 years of an okay salary. And you Darnell Wright's still a rookie. Tevins will be coming out of his rookie contract. Braxton will be coming out of his, and you can slowly pay these guys, right? If they prove that they're going to be healthy and get the job done, right? Because those are 2 criticals. If you can only give me 5 games a year or 10 games a year, I can't pay you. I can't pay you big money. I can pay you smaller money, and that's
I almost can't pay you 5 games. That's tough.
All right, 5 is tough, but 10, like Tevin Jenkins. If Tev will take Tev's a $15, $20 million guard, but he's only available half the season. Yeah. So now you're a $10 million dude. That's a lot of money, but I can't pay you like you're going to be there because you're not going to be there, you know. And so then that's the negotiation, you know. Yeah. But we don't have a starting center, you know. We now do have a starting safety. We now do have a starting number 2 wide receiver. We don't really have a true number 3 wide receiver, right? So we got 2 positions that are wide open there. You could just take that 1 and that 9 and fill the wide receiver and fill the center and be done with it, right? But I think he's wiser than that. I think he's going to get some value out of that. And even if let's say he grabs the Caleb Williams, let's say it works out, he grabs Caleb with that number 1 overall, you still can trade that 9 back a few spots and get a second round, so that you have your let's say if you go from like the 9 to the 13 or 14, you can get a good receiver at 14, not the greatest, but a good one, and you can get your center at 214. Yeah. Right, and you still got a good center, or vice versa. You take your center because you bought Keenan Allen. You take your center with the you take the first center off the draft with your pick that you traded back from 9, and your second round pick. You can get a second round wide receiver. It's not going to be a bad guy. He's got to learn, and he's going to sit behind Keenan Allen and learn. I'm not saying I don't want Rome or MHJ. I do. I want to see them in the Bears uniform, because Keenan Allen's 32. He's going to be losing a step. He's still big physical receiver, but I don't know that we're going to turn around and give him a big contract next year. We might not. Right. Yeah. But I feel good about the team. I feel good about where we are. Poles is cooking again. He's done phenomenally, and we still have lots of cap. He is not burning all our ability to buy. Right. He can run a budget.
I know. And that's maybe the most amazing part of it all, is that it's like, man, he's really strategic about all of this, to where in my mind it looks as if he's gone through so many scenarios in his head. It's like, all right, if you do this, I'm going to do this. If this happens, then this is going to happen. It's really like a chess match. Absolutely.
Yep, for sure. Well, hey man, this was a absolutely fun time. You guys keep liking and subscribing us. We're gonna keep bringing you content. We appreciate everybody out there. We hope you continue to appreciate the podcast. I'm Uncle,
I'm Nephew.
and we're talking bears
Always.
for sure.